In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can reupholster an old Ottoman. Plus, after I take off all this material, you'll see the construction of it, and you might just want to build one yourself. So, I'm going to take this material, and I'm turning this old, ugly, worn-out Ottoman into this. Didn't turn out that bad, huh? You know what I really like about this is everything. I really like that I did it. I really like the thickness of the material. That's one tip I'm gonna give you right now. Make sure the material you get is thick and durable. Okay, now if you're ready, let's get started. First thing you want to do is flip it over to the side and take off the bottom feet. You should be able to just spin them off, take all 4 of them off. Next, you're left with this bottom piece of fabric. If you're not going to reuse it, just go ahead and rip it off. If you're like me and you're going to keep this, make sure you get the staples out of this piece. It's full of staples. This is about to make a lot of sense, and you'll see how this is 2 sections. Here's the top cushion, and here's the bottom section. As you see, there are pleats on all 4 corners, or all 4 sides, that are screwed into the plywood. So I have my impact drill. I'm going to take the screws out, and then we'll separate the 2 pieces. As you see, it is separated, and now you have a very good idea of how this works. You have the top cushion, and then on the bottom support system, you do the same thing. You fold the fabric over on the top, and you fold the fabric on the bottom. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my razor blade, and I'm going to cut this fabric off. I've cut the fabric from the plywood all the way around, and as you see, it opens, but it still won't come apart. Since mine is pleated, it looks like it's in 2 sections. You're going to take a large screwdriver, and you come in here, and you're prying away all the staples. A lot of staples, so you want to be careful not to stick your hand, and definitely when you get done with this, you want to vacuum so you don't leave any staples on the ground. Removing the rest of the fabric, and the cushion is the exact same. The only thing you're left with is the foam padding and a few staples and a little bit of the fabric. So I'm taking my pliers, get rid of these staples, pull the fabric off, and then I'm recover the padding from the bottom. Simply take it off, remove all the staples, and then put the padding back on. Any exposed staples, I make sure to remove those. I remove all the staples, and I'm ready to put the padding back on. I've already stapled down the one that I never took off, and I removed the padding from the other fabric. So I'm simply going to line it up, and I'm going to use the staple gun, and I'm going to staple on both sides, and I'm going to go all the way around. Okay, this one's all done. Now let's move to the top. The top is going to be actually very easy. I'm going to use my box cutter and cut real close to the staples and pull the fabric off. As you can see, my hand can go all the way through, so this will come off very easy. As you see, this is all that it is. It's not too much to an Ottoman. So set this out the way. Here's your big cushion. Here's your top batting. So my cushion is in good shape, so I'm going to use it. So I'm simply just going to put this back on, and we're about to put the fabric on. We're about to put the fabric back on this, and Do the whole step in reverse.
Now it's time to cut the fabric. I measured the length, width, and height of the cushion, added at least 6 inches so I would have extra fabric to pull.
Now that your fabric is cut, it's time to staple it to your cushion. So I'm going to line it up and on the edge, and you staple from the middle and then you work your way out. Put a lot of staples in. Now I'm pushing it away to get it real tight. We're gonna do this on all 4 sides. Go in the middle and then work your way out. I actually forgot to mention this. I have 2 staplers. This is a lightweight, this is a heavyweight. So, once you staple in the middle on all 4 sides, you go ahead and make sure everything is very, very taut and staple up to about 3 inches from each corner. You want your staples to be very tight to each other. Now, finishing off the corner or the edge is probably one of the most difficult parts because it's very opinionated. But this is how I'm going to do it. My staples stopped 3 inches from the edge, so I'm going to take the center and I'm going to pull it pretty tight. Pull it pretty tight, and I'm going to put a few staples. Put a few staples right there to hold it. Then I'm going to pull one edge over and put a few staples here, and then take the other edge, pull this back a little, take the other edge and come over and staple down right here. So that's what that particular fold will look like. So I will finish all 4. We're done with the top cushion. Now it's time to move on to the sides and the bottom. This particular piece is 140 inches all the way around. So I'm gonna have to take my remaining cloth, cut it into 3 even strips, sew it together, and then staple it on. You know, I changed my mind. My 3 strips that I just cut, I'm actually going to cut them into 4 pieces because I want all the seams to meet in the corner. If you do any type of sewing or crafting, you need a cutlery board and a rotary cutter. It makes life very easy when it comes to making perfect cuts. Plus, get you one of these clear rulers. You want to make sure on your fabric the right sides are facing each other. Line them up to the edge, and then I'm going to sew on the wrong side.
I'm using my favorite sewing machine, the Brother SQ9185, with an extension table and my overcasting foot.
Here's the overcasting stitch before I cut off the fringe. This is the look after the cut.
Now I'm going to sew the 2 smaller pieces into 1 large piece to go around the base of the ottoman. I'm going to use the same overcasting stitch with a 1-inch seam allowance. Then I will cut off the excess and go put it on.
Right now I'm about to line up the 4 corners that I sewn onto the 4 corners of the base. Hopefully it lines up. So purposely made the material wide enough to where I had a lot of excess fabric. So as you see, I can pull it very tight, and it does cover. It hits the wood in the back, hits the wood in the front. So let's go ahead and pull this taut and staple it, and then attach the two. Okay, just like before, I'm gonna start in the middle, pull it as tight as I can. Now, once you pull it tight and you've already flipped it to the other side, and as you see, I have a few little cutouts. So you take your little box cutter, razor blade, whatever you're using, and you cut it, pull it down, throw 2 more staples in there, do the same right here at the corner, because you want to be able to pull it as taut as possible, and you can't do that unless you cut it. And then once you get done, you trim the excess. Now I'm about to flip it over and then reattach it. You're going to run out of staples, so I said let me just show you how you load a hand stapler. You simply push this in, it slides up. You get your appropriate staple and you simply load it like that, and then you just put the little clip back in, press it all the way down, just like that. That's just how easy it is to load your stapler. Okay, here is the moment of truth. Now it's time to attach the bottom piece. So I have my trusty impact driver, and I'm just going to drill the screws back into the plywood. Okay, next thing you want to do is to put your bottom covering on. Take your legs, line them up in the holes, and put them on. Okay, moment of truth. Take your ottoman, flip it over. Yes. This actually came out a little nicer than I thought. I should have did this years ago. I had my torn ottoman looking bad upstairs, hid in a corner, because I was embarrassed to have it out. I actually like this a lot now. You know, I had a lot of fun doing this. It's something I should have did years ago. This material that we use, we got it from Hobby Lobby. I'm pretty sure Joann's, Walmart, or any fabric store is going to carry something that you're going to like. But again, make sure the material you pick out is thick and is durable. And then the sky is the limit on your design. This turned out a lot better than I thought. It cost, I want to say this material was $44, something in that range, and it took a little bit over 3 hours. I'm pretty sure that had a lot to do with the fact that I was recording. So give yourself an hour and a half to 2.5 hours and you should have this done. This was a lot of fun. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up, and as usual, I appreciate you watching. You guys have a good one, and go reupholster your item.